to the women's edition of the Big 12 Conference Championship games. All the Big 12 women's teams, not just Oklahoma, but they all get to do something the men very rarely get to do. The men have occasions. Oklahoma's played there, the men have played there a couple of times. They played there in Houston. They played the Houston one a couple of times, but every single year, the women get to do this. They usually play in an NBA arena. They play in ours here in Oklahoma City, in the Chesapeake, or in Dallas, home of the Dallas Mavericks. This year it was held by the ones in Dallas, Texas, in the American Airlines Center. Oklahoma entered the American Airlines Center as the number 2 overall seed in the Big 12 Conference Championship brackets. They matched up with the 8th seeded West Virginia Mountaineers in a rubber match there. And then they matched up with 6th bracketed Texas in a rematch in that series. Did Oklahoma. Preview of the brackets. Oklahoma's bracket coming up next. Don't move a muscle. Version of the Big 12 Women's Basketball Championships were played a couple of weeks ago in Dallas, in the American Airlines Center. The second seed in that bracket was Oklahoma, our Oklahoma Sooners. They finished last year the second seeded Oklahoma Sooners from this year. Last year, a major improvement as far as record-wise is concerned. Overall from last year, though, they went 18-15, finishing 9-9 in Big 12 league play. They lost to DePaul 100-104 in the Women's National Basketball NCAA first round last year. They're head coached by Sherry Cole. Coach Cole has been at Oklahoma since 1996. This is her only job she's had. And she is a 1987 grad from Oklahoma Christian University. As far as on the court, handling Sherry Cole's business, number 24, Shireen Campbell Olds, carries a lot of the weight of that, as does number 42, Kaylon Williams. 24, Shireen Campbell Olds. Last year, she was Shireen Campbell. Got married over the summer. But when she was Shireen Campbell, she averaged 12.64 points per ball game, while averaging 5.39 rebounds per ball game and 1.45 assists per ball game last year for the Sooners. Well, number 24, Kaylon Williams, KK, she averaged 6.97 points per ball game, 4.42 rebounds per ball game, and 0.42 assists per ball game last year for the Sooners. In the quarterfinals, the Oklahoma Sooners played a rubber match against the 8th seeded West Virginia Mountaineers. Last year, the West Virginia Mountaineers were 30-5. Finishing with a 16-2 conference record. They lost to LSU 69-64 in the second round of the Women's NCAA tournament. Their head coach is Mike Carey. Carey's been at West Virginia since 2001. He has also been up in the Northwest at Salem University before coming to West Virginia. Coach Mike is a 1980 grad from the aforementioned Salem University. Returning leading scorers for the West Virginia Mountaineers, handling it on the court. Number 23, Bria Holmes, and number 5, Amber Fields. 23, Bria Holmes first. Bria averaged 15.18 points per ball game last year, while averaging 3.5 rebounds per ball game and 1.68 assists per ball game last year for the West Virginia Mountaineers. While Amber Fields finished with 7.51 points per ball game last year, while she averaged 5.2 rebounds per ball game and 1.69 assists per ball game last year for West Virginia. The Oklahoma-Texas rivalry happened next, where Oklahoma ended up eventually losing in the semifinals. The semifinal round matched up Oklahoma and 6th-seeded Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns finished with a 22-12 record last year overall, 11 wins to match 7 losses last year. Lost to Maryland, 67 to 76, or 76 to 67 last year in the women's NCAA tournament. They're head coached by Karen Aston. She's been at Texas since 2012 and has also been the head coach at Charlotte, North Texas State, and is at Texas right now. And she is a 1987 grad from Little Rock, Arkansas, University of Little Rock. That's Karen Aston, the coach. Handling her on the field is number 3, Nika Napoli, and number 34, Monica McNeef Stafford. And Napoli, last year, number 3, Nika Napoli averaged 11.97 points per ball game, while averaging 8.56 rebounds per ball game and 0.82 assists per ball game last year for the Horns. Oklahoma will then have to put up with number 34, and Monica McNeef Stafford. Stafford averaged 11.79 points per ball game, 7.33 rebounds per ball game, and 0.55 assists per ball game last year for the Horns. This time around, I'm not sure how many teams are going to make it this time. You know that at least all the way down, you know that we're going to make, Baylor's going to make it, and you know that we're going to make it. Behind that, I really don't know where the rest of it's going to happen. Not as far as wins are concerned, but there's such a log jam in there between 3rd and basically about, where's Texas, 6th, maybe 7th or 8th on the women's side. There is a big log jam in there with a difference of about 1 game. So Oklahoma and Baylor are the top 2 teams in the league. What the Schooner has to do to officially be entered and to officially get to play both sets, the first 2 rounds in Lloyd Noble up the road and the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 rounds in Oklahoma City, they need at least a number 4 seed tomorrow evening, Selection Monday. If not, they will be in the tournament, and I just have a feeling right in my gut that they're going to get at least an invite to the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 rounds in the Chesapeake. They want to attract people, and just the name Oklahoma will attract a lot of people. So just look for Oklahoma, maybe not to be in the top 4 seeds, 1 through 4. I don't think that's going to happen. But they might get a Sweet 16 or Elite 8 round invite if they get past the first 2 rounds, and they'll play here, or at least up the street, at the Chesapeake. Whether that happens, you'll have to wait for tomorrow night. ESPN will have it. Selection Monday. Alright. We'll break down the women's version of the NCAA bracket when it comes out. Till then, my name's Harry James Taylor. Thanks a lot for watching. And as always, Boomer Sooner, everybody. Take care.